sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know.
Welcome back to my show. It's another episode. It's another episode. Let's get it. You undecided about going to college. Read all your play, watch for your options. There's no doubt, you are a scholar. Believe in yourself, it'll take you way farther. Cut out the blur, lead a distraction. Get your degree, count on your bag and sit the kick back. Covered in sauce, ooh, dripping in fashion. Get you a check, one of the bands. Financial ways, they on demand. Choose a career, then take a stand. Haters a clap, I won't give you a hand. They not on your track, you one of them last. Stacking them racks, getting straight to the bag. No time to flex, so you could take another route. Maybe a trade with militia life. Refine the skill, sharpen a knife. For every $1 you make it count twice. Then you run it up, throw them hundreds up. Filling up accounts, cause you know you made it.
Welcome to the first episode of Quarantine Teentober College Edition. I am joined by my very own graduating class of 2015. We are going to take teens on a journey that they'll never forget. Whether it's a teen who's in college or it's a teen that's going to college and no longer wants to be enrolled. If this sounds like you've tuned into a great show. We're going to help you decide how to overcome struggles, hardships, and advance yourself to getting the degree or the career that is right for you. I'm going to kick off the introductions and then pass it to my cohorts. My name is Kenesha, but you could call me Kay. I graduated from Xavier University of Louisiana, aka Zulu, XU. I obtained a degree in biology, pre-medicine, minor in chemistry. Courtney.
I'm Courtney, and I went to Clark Atlanta University, where I got my degree in mass media arts, and I also have my master's in entertainment business from Full Sail University.
Hey everyone, my name is Shamia, and I also went to Clark Atlanta University, CAU, proud graduate with mass media arts major, and I also have my degree from American University, a Master of Arts in Strategic Communications.
Hey y'all, my name is Kenya. I got my undergrad degree from Tuskegee University in Animal and Poultry Science, and I also got my doctorate degree from Tuskegee University in Veterinary Medicine.
Hi, my name is Sydney. I graduated from the University of Delaware with a major in criminal justice and a minor in sociology.
Hello, my name is Raven Walker. I am college educated, but I am not college graduated. I went to Delaware State University, later transferred to George Mason University, where I eventually ended up in the Navy and graduated as an aviation administration in second class.
Great. So, we're going to kick the questionnaire off with just some various things I want to talk to my group about. They're going to supply you with answers, and we'll go from there. You guys ready?
Ready! But I knew from a young girl that I definitely wanted to go to college. I knew that I would kind of be the first person, at least on my mom's side of the family, to attend college. So it was always a big deal to me, especially because my mom was a single mom. She did not finish college. She very much so instilled in me, the importance of education. So I already knew I wanted to go to college. I didn't know for what. I mean, your girl went from wanting to be a doctor to wanting to be a lawyer to want to be this, but I'm a talker, I'm a communicator, so I ultimately went for communications, again at CAU. So my mom very much so instilled that in me. She's my biggest influence in life, I would say. She's such a smart, beautiful, independent woman, and she taught me to be independent and stand on my own. And so I definitely wanted to get that further education. I didn't think I would do it twice, to be honest. I thought I was like, oh, bachelor's, be out of here. But in reality, like, I wanted to keep on going. And it was so funny. I just have like a little story, but because I thought only will get my bachelor's, and then my mom was like, okay, do you want to get your master's next? And I was like, you know what, I do want to get my master's next. I wanted to excel even more, and I think it was for myself for sure, but it was also to see her very proud of me and have, as a single mother, to have a daughter that she raised to go above and beyond the standards that she even met for herself, for me in her head, you know? And that's definitely one of the reasons why I went to college. I already knew I wanted to go to college. Like, that was not a question. But I would definitely say my mom was the biggest influence in my life for that, because I feel like I'm doing the things she may have already wanted to do, but she instilled in me to do those things. And now, you know, I'm here 2 degrees down, very proud, and she's proud. You know, just a disclaimer, my mom did not cry when I got my bachelor's, okay? She cried, actually, and she low-key about this, but she definitely cried when I got my master's, because she was just like, dang, I did that. And she did.
3 words, college move-in day. I would say hot, nervous, and excited. Hot because I just moved from Maryland to Alabama. It's like 96 degrees at the end of August, and I had to move all of my stuff in my dorm. Nervous because I was going to be on my own. My parents were going to help me set up my dorm, and then they were going to leave, and I was just going to be by myself. And I was 12 hours away from home, and I just was not knowing what I was going to be signing myself up for. And then excited kind of goes with nervous. I was excited for all those same reasons that I was nervous. I was going to be in a new place. This was me on my own, by myself. I had my own car. It was time for me to make new friends. So that definitely kind of meshes all of that together in that day. It's like very emotional.
So I'm going to echo what Kenya said. I would say strenuous, exciting, and empowering. Strenuous because obviously you're lugging all of your, you know, clothes and your suitcases and all these other materials to your dorm. And that's strenuous. And then you also have to be introduced to your roommate, which also can be strenuous, or it can be fun and a great experience. But just meeting a new person can kind of be nerve-wracking as well. And then I'd say exciting because this is a new experience. You've never been in this space before. You've never had this experience before. You're going into a completely different world. And I'd say empowering because you're surrounded by individuals who are college motivated or inspired. You're in a location where people have the similar goals, different goals, but kind of the same pathway, and that they value education and they want to succeed. So that can be empowering. It can also be empowering because your parents are so proud. And I remember my parents on my move-in day, just the look on their faces. And we went out to eat after I moved in, and I was ready to hang out with different people and meet my roommates and like people from the track team and like socialize. But I just remember the look on their faces. And I think that was the most beautiful moment. It's just seeing how proud of me, that they were. And I think that if I ever have children, or if I'm ever lucky enough, I'll, you know, be just as proud, and I feel like they will feel empowered as well. So.
I think college, I would say, first of all, my mom taught me a life lesson, again, being a single mom, about being independent, but college really taught me how to be independent and become my own person. Nobody goes into college knowing who they are, but I definitely feel I came out knowing a better sense of who I was. So that's a big life lesson for me. And I take that into any life lesson, I guess I would say, going forward, whether it's career, personal, or anything. You really get to know who you are in college. You get to know what type of friends you want around you. You get to know what type of possibly career path you want to go under. You get to know self, and self is very important. So I would definitely take that as something I learned in college. And I've gotten it from courses. I've gotten it from, I guess, professors. I've gotten it from friends. I've gotten it from like just my experience in general, especially going to HBCU. Me as a Black woman, I would say I've gotten a lot of lessons. So I'm very proud of that. So college is definitely like it can be, I wouldn't say it's your only, but it can be your pathway to life, really.
I agree with you. I'll definitely follow up with you. I think not only did I begin to find myself more and more each year, I think college truly defined for me that people come in your life for reasons and seasons. And though it sounds cliche, it's very real. One of my closest friends ever to this day is someone that I happened to meet like literally in a class, and then we talked one day on a rooftop of Xavier, and she's still my friend to this very day. The actual person that I thought was going to be my best friend for life is nowhere to be found. So I do believe that college defines those very moments of you realizing your independency, but more so shaping who you want to be and who you want to follow you in your journey.
Kind of felt this question was for me, but I say to anyone that is unsure, one thing that you do need is a vision. And even if you don't have a clear sight and it seems a bit hazy, that is fine. But where you find, what you find nestled in your vision is your passion. And I say when you grab a hold of that and you make it a part of your daily routine, you truly begin to shape your path for you. And even if it seems obscene to others and it seems off the beaten track, I say that is a track that needs to be walked the most, because there's a lot of people that are afraid to walk that path because not a lot of people have.
Yeah, that's real.
I like that.
I like that.
While college can be challenging, there are certain courses that are called the weed out courses. And one of the weed out courses that I happened to take inside of my major was also known as organic chemistry. The class was genuinely difficult. I mean, at the end of the day, anything that you line up with difficult, you're going to automatically have the fixed mindset. Now, if you go with me here, the fixed mindset is saying that you can't do something, you can't overcome something, and you're just not good at it. But with organic chemistry, both 1 and 2, I had to develop the growth mindset. I met with my professors daily during their office hours. I formed study group, independent study. And of course, I told myself that yes, I can and yes, I will pass the course. Even when I was in jeopardy of maybe not even passing the class, I still found ways around it. And I can truly say, as a Xavier scholar, I've never failed a class. I've never withdrew from a class. I've never earned an incomplete. I've always mastered the course and got out alive. And I have faith that you can do the same. Yes, you are going to struggle, but it's all about your mindset and it's all about your work ethic. And something that I possess and will forever possess is a strong work ethic.
Did I pledge? Yes, I did. I pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Not wearing my nail, but I have on my handy bracelet. I went over in spring 2014, Alpha Pi chapter at Clark Atlanta University. Once I became an AKA, I can honestly say that things kind of changed for me. It's like people just started, I would say, giving me a little bit more attention than before I got my letters. But I was able to balance school life and work life and also, personal life. Now, 6 years later, I am in Romeo Omega chapter, in the grad chapter, and I also hold a position in office. So I can say that I am continuing my journey, giving back to the community and service to all mankind. Sydney.
I think Raven should go next.
Okay.
To make it balanced.
Oh, okay. Well, I did not pledge in the Divine Nine or in a Divine Nine organization. However, I pledged in a different way. I pledged in a sense where there's only 1% that cross that boundary and attain a different type of training and connectivity that a lot of people don't get to connect to. So to go through that was, I would say similar, though I have not experienced, but when it's meant for you to be a part of something bigger than yourself, it grabs a hold of you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, so I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, as my sweater suggests. I pledged Lambda Gamma chapter in fall 13. So my experience I would say after, crossing, it was absolutely beautiful. I've grown so much, and I feel like I've never experienced a relationship like I have with my line sisters. The way I know them and the way they know me is so unique. And I've, like, as an only child, I know that's super cliche, but I feel like those are my true sisters, and anything that I can tell them, I can tell them in confidence and without worry, and that they will uplift me and help me get to or further down my journey. I can honestly say that my life has been changed since they've been in my life. It's been much more colorful. It's been much more exciting. It's been, I would say, much more, I wouldn't say challenging, but they do challenge me to be better and to be a better version of myself and to evolve. And seeing them succeed makes me want to succeed. It's like they push me to be better than I was before. And there are only 4 of us, so we're super, super close. Those are my best friends, but I don't even call them my best friends because it doesn't seem like it's right. Those are like my literal sisters. But I think about them often. We talk often. We keep up with each other, and we're super close. I don't know what else to say, but it's one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had. And it's something that I will never forget, and it's something that will be lifelong. And I hope that other people get to experience something similar. Maybe you're not going to pledge, maybe you're going to do something different, maybe you're going to join a different organization, but I feel like college gives you those opportunities, and you should take advantage of them.
I think it's important to communicate with your professors, just because you can get an insight from them that you've never seen before. You can find that mentor that you're looking for. You can find that relationship will be how you pass or fail a class, to be honest. So I think building that rapport, like, it might seem like it's, oh, don't nobody want to be, friends with the sick. No, it's very good to build that relationship with them. And then as far as like the academic process, take it serious. I would say if it was one thing that I had to go back and kind of redo, it would be following up on more internships.
Mm-hmm.
As a mass media major and going to school in Atlanta, that's like the mecca that's Black Hollywood, basically. So with the major that me and Shamia shared, it was easy. You had that internship, you was in there, so I think you should take advantage of the opportunities. Yes, you're going to have fun and all that, but when the opportunity presents itself, you should take it.
We want to talk about financial aid just for a moment. Financial aid is very, very important when it comes to enrolling yourself in school, whether it be to get a bachelor's, a master's, or even a PhD. You should know about the type of loans they have out there, especially federal loans. They do offer private loans, but the federal loans hit way different. They hit you a little harder in the pocket.
Ooh.
I think it's very important to know that you have other options so that you don't have to take out loans. You can always do work study, fill out your FAFSA aid every January, right when it comes out, because then you can be given a grant, a Pell Grant, anything of some sort for free money, if you will. Never forget to log on to scholarships websites. These things are impeccable and they're necessary to help you in your education. Because when you graduate and you do your counseling program from the loan, you're going to owe that money back plus interest plus loan fee. The loans are very, very serious. So we're going to talk about how the loans affected us. Courtney, can you start off?
So I know that a popular loan that people take out is the Parent Plus loan. That's a loan that I did not take out. I remember my mom and dad saying, we're not doing that. So I was fortunate enough we had kind of like gift certificates or vouchers, if you will, from Turner Broadcasting. And you basically got your tuition at a 10% discount using the vouchers. So that's how I paid the majority of my tuition, but I did use like the unsubsidized loan and the subsidized loans, which were small amounts, but they eventually added up. When I left out, I would say my number was relatively low compared to others, but when I went to grad school is when it hit home. Yeah, so I agree. Just make sure you know your options. Try to save money. And personally, I have not started paying my student loans back. So I know other people is hitting other people's pockets harder than mine because they have not started to come out. But I will say, just use your resources because it's a lot.
Scholarships. Fortunately for undergrad, I had a scholarship, which is part of the reason why I ended up going to Tuskegee. I had a scholarship because of my GPA in high school, and that was half of my tuition that the scholarship covered. And then I also reached out to the Alumni Association in Maryland. So they were giving any student that was going from Maryland to Tuskegee money. All you do is like write them a letter and like a thank you card, and then they'll give you money. So I did that. And fortunately for undergrad, I did not have any undergrad debt. But then rolling into vet school, that's a whole nother, like Courtney said, a whole nother ball game. The scholarships for vet school are very limited. So then you start thinking about things like joining the military. They have programs, and they have a lot of loan forgiveness programs, and a lot of places where they're like, hey, if you dedicate this amount of time in school, you just owe us that money back when you get out of school. So look into those programs as well. A lot of government-based programs do those programs. A lot of teacher programs offer things like that too. So definitely do your research.
Definitely be very proactive, because though the military sells whatever they give as gold, there is a potential that that gold isn't for you to wear. So when she says to do your research, I highly emphasize that, because after doing 4 years in college and 4 years in the military, you get to see the difference, and you get to see just how much you are an individual in one realm and you are a number in the other. Mm-hmm. So it completely depends on just how much you want out of your journey and out of your process, whether that's military, college, or some other trade school, something else that sets you apart and makes you individualized. So do your research and make sure your path is strictly tailored for you and that you decided on it.
I'll just say that I actually disagree. I think that private loans are more dangerous than federal loans. As someone who has a private loan and a federal loan, my federal loan just happens to be at a much lower interest rate, whereas my private loan, I feel like I was with Sally Mae initially, in all transparency, and my interest rate was astronomically high. It was absolutely ridiculous, and I refinanced, and I could have made some smarter decisions. I could have met deadlines. I encourage you, FAFSA, meet that deadline. Make sure you're filling out these scholarships. A lot of people say, oh, I don't think I'm going to get a scholarships, but there really are so many opportunities for you. I had a grant in college, so that gave me a little bit of funding, but honestly, I could have made better decisions in terms of my spending. And I honestly, I never regret going to the school I went to. It was a phenomenal experience. Could I had an equal experience at a different school? I absolutely could have, because it really just, it's determinant on the person. So if you are a person who can make the best of your situation, go where the money is taking you as well. I would say go where they're going to give you the scholarship, because in the long run, saving that money means the difference between moving out of your parents' house at a certain age and the steps that you take. So I know you're really young, you may be 18 years old. It's hard to make these critical decisions, but you have to think strategically and honestly think about your future and know that wherever you land, you got to make the best of your situation, and that's the most important part. If you're a person who enjoys a crowd, and I know you want to go to the big D1 school, unless you're getting a scholarship, you can have a great experience at a D3, a D2 school as well. So I want to emphasize that.
And for me, I took both federal loans out for both undergrad and graduate school, but I would say my mom did take out a Parent Plus loan because she actually wasn't able to qualify for private loans. And so I would just say, one, just apply for as many scholarships and grants as you can, starting off in high school. And like, yes, your GPA can determine a lot of that, but you'll be surprised where other places you can get it from, grants included. And that's something I wish I did more of in high school, because it can be a Parent Plus loan, a burden on your parents. Although I am paying my mother back, so she ain't never gonna forget that. But I will say that is a burden, just a financial burden on like the credit, and just like whether you can qualify for certain things. That's very hard. Even now for me, having to take out. Although I will say my grad school did give me some scholarship money, I still had to take out loans for myself. On top of that, because I was in the program a little longer. So I would definitely say that take whatever school gives you money. However, try to have some type of plan where, because even in your master's program, you can get scholarships and grants. You just really have to look for it. And sometimes you have to meet those deadlines a little earlier. Yeah. But it's still very possible. But I would just definitely say, look for where the money is at. Like, I do not regret going to school out of state at all. I don't regret going to a private institution at all. However, financially, I will say, like, it's okay to go to like a public college too. It's even okay to start at a community college, because I know a lot of people have issues with that, but it's okay, because in the long run, as an adult, it will really work out for you, because that financial burden of student loans is so hectic and so honestly it can be very depressing. But don't get discouraged, because there is money out there. You just have to really ask for it and go for it. So I would just say that.
Absolutely. And one thing with applying for financial aid, one thing people don't keep in the forefront of their mind is that they have the propensity to take that money away if your GPA is not at a certain level. So that is another way that you have to be prepared for your future and for your current. If you aren't 100% sure about school, I would try alternative methods before you completely give yourself to a loan obligation that you aren't sure is going to be fit for your future.
Yes, and I agree wholeheartedly. My experience is similar to that of Shamia, where I've taken out federal loans. And yes, Sydney, you're right. Private loans can be very dangerous. However, I played a dangerous game by having my dad to take out a Parent Plus loan. And unfortunately, my dad, he works at a pretty qualified job. His name is on the loan, but they're looking at me to pay it back, because that was the agreement me and my dad made. So I'm paying what he will really pay out of his salary with my paycheck. So I try my best not to compare anyone's loan situation, because I do understand that all of us have taken on large amounts of money. Either way, whether it's federal, private, anything of that nature, like they said, do your research before you sign that dotted line, before you give them that promissory note. Because once they take it, that's it. Once you spend that money, that's it. When you get a refund check, don't be silly with it. You know, try to start paying off your interest. Then your interest is the bulk of your bill. I mean, they seriously have loan fees inside of the actual loan you took out, plus the interest that accrued over time. I know Cindy brought up private. Unfortunately, certain private loans don't even give you public service forgiveness, as Kenya said. Exactly. That's where you can dedicate some of your time, maybe 5 to 10 years of teaching, police, hospitality, or something of that nature. And once you dedicated 10 years to public service, you definitely can get your loans paid off. But think about it. That's like literally 120 payments of your life, and it might be dependent on what you earn. It may just be a standard graduate plan. It may be something of that nature. So just
depending on the job that you get,
and depending on the job. So just be intelligent. Before
and can I point out
signing
one more thing? It's just like the difference sometimes between private and federal. Is federal, sometimes you can defer the loan, whereas private loans, you cannot defer the loan. You lose your job, you're still obligated to pay for some of these private loans. This is why I say
really look at your options, assess private versus federal. Honestly, like having a private loan to me was just because I didn't meet a simple deadline. And now the consequences are I paid a higher interest rate until I refinance, whereas my federal loan is so low, I'm close to paying it off at this point. So it's just the little decisions you make, the little deadlines, the procrastination, that all catches up to you. So assess your options and act quickly and efficiently.
Because that's one thing the military did set their people up for, is the fact that for private loans, because I took a private loan as well, is that they will cap you at a certain percentage so that you aren't getting a exacerbated amount of interest rate once you do get out and you do take your loans out of deferment. So their military does offer benefits for you to help your transition from civilian life to, you know, being a full-time student. It makes it a little bit easier and a little bit less stressful.
Yeah.
And definitely take out only what you need.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't take out a loan to buy a car. Please, no, don't take it out to buy your Toyota Camry. We don't
take out the loan to get the Dior. You get the Dior. Like,
Well, me and Shamia went to the same school, so we spent most of our time in the library, which we call Club Woody.
Club Woody.
The whole AUC area shared a library, and the AUC is Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, and Spelman. So we all shared one big library, and it was mainly called Club Woody because nobody really studied there, especially during finals and midterms. Like, you will walk in, there will be the dance squad over here having practice. There will be the basketball team over here running plays in the corner. Like, nobody was really doing what they were supposed to do. But when you did have work to do, that is where you went. But it was also like a lit space to do what you do.
I kind of want to piggyback off of that. Your girl studied. She got it too, but she definitely studied upstairs in the corner where all the nerds were because she wanted to pass this biology test. But then on break time, she would come down to Club Woody, where everybody was, you know, with the plays and all that. Yeah, Courtney talked about that. But yeah, we studied too. Don't get it twisted, teens.
So from my experience at Xavier, we did have a library. But as they said, sometimes you can just get so easily distracted in the library because then your friends notice you through the glass window. They come tap on it, open your door, and now you're involved in a whole conversation and did not write one single word for your paper. So, well, me and my old best friend, we used to actually go out to the park. New Orleans had a park called Audubon, and we would set up shop, get something to eat, put a blanket in the grass, and literally study. I mean, sometimes we would walk the water, maybe go down to a river walk. Like, just getting a change of scenery can motivate you and spark new interest. We'd always go to the Starbucks, the coffee shop. I think just getting out a little more while you're trying to study, that can actually help you. Sometimes if you feel like, oh, I've been to this coffee shop a lot, Google other ones. It's not just Starbucks. It's not just community house coffee. There's a range of coffee places that you can get your work done at. So make sure you do study, though. It's imperative.
Study. Please do. Because if you don't,
you're failed.
Wait, don't say that. Period.
But it's facts. We are done with the Q&A section. We're going to move on to a fun section called This or That. I'm going to give you guys some options, and you're going to tell me what you pick. Ready? All right. Cafe or dining? Kenya?
It depends, especially going to an HBCU when you go to the CAF. So the two best days are Fried Chicken Wednesday and Fried Fish Friday.
That part. That part.
Discussion, post, and reply, or class presentation? Sydney.
Okay, so I can speak from experience. Me in class presentations, no. I am not enjoying that. Me in a class presentation, I personally, especially back then, was very nervous going into a space. I didn't go to an HBCU, going into a space where I felt like I had to be better than everyone else.
in order to succeed. So I felt like I had to be perfect in everything I did, speak perfectly, present myself perfectly. Everything had to be on point. And I felt that got to my head a little bit, and I could have succeeded if I had just been more natural and in my element instead of trying to be, ideal. And that kind of got to my head. So I remember specifically a presentation, and I just froze for about a minute. And a minute doesn't seem long, but in a presentation, it's a long minute. If I pause here for 10 seconds, it's going to be a long time, let me tell you. So you can imagine. So for me, I excelled when I had written assignments because I could be more natural and my personality could speak. And I felt like if I had been more natural in situations where I didn't feel like I had to speak perfectly and be ideal, the perfect Black person, then I would have excelled more. So
yeah, and Sydney, as I always say, be raw, be authentic,
Exactly.
be you. So yeah, that goes a long way. Live on campus or off campus?
I can take that one because I did both.
Can you tell us?
So, live on campus. I lived on campus my freshman year and my sophomore year. And then I moved off campus my junior and senior year. I wanted to move off campus my junior and senior year because I was tired of having a roommate, to be honest. But that kind of, it could go both ways. Like on one end, yeah, you live on your own, you have a roommate, but then you kind of miss when your friends call you like, hey, can you pull up? Like, it's going to take me a minute to get there. I got to get dressed, and then I'll be there in like 20 minutes. Versus if you had a roommate, the party in y'all apartment, and nobody don't got to go nowhere. Y'all just in the living room doing whatever. Your friends next door, they come over. So it kind of goes back and forth depending on what you want to do. If you enjoy your roommate, have a good relationship with your roommate, then I would say just ride that out and stay on campus. But if you're one of those persons that like want to be by yourself, then I would say move off campus, but later. Don't be one of those people that live off campus the whole 4 years. That's not fun.
No.
I want to answer too. I agree. That whole roommate situation, I was fortunate enough to never have a roommate that I did not know. Freshman year, she was my roommate. We lived together, and it was a good experience. And then I moved off campus senior year, actually, and it was different. It felt good to be, on your own, follow your own rules. I still had roommates when I moved off campus, but I would say I can't pick this or that, so I'll pick that because I like both.
Good answer. Yeah. Pay for books or download as many PDF versions as you can.
Neither.
I'm a PDF downloader. Okay.
Would you like to take this?
I say Chegg was my best friend.
Okay.
I did not want to buy not one book. If I could find an alternative way to get that book, I was trying it, like, just to buy it and to sell it back and get 25 cents. So lucky to pay my $200 for a book and get $1 back. It don't feel good.
I will second that in a heartbeat. I will never forget. I was so happy to turn those books in. Like, yeah, I'm getting some money today.
No.
And the man said, yeah, I can only give you $3. I mean, it felt like literally, it felt like a knife to the heart. You drop so much money and wait in those long lines for these thick chapter books that you barely touch because the teacher's going to give you PowerPoints and things. So, yeah, just spend the money wisely if you are going to buy it.
This is where knowing upperclassmen come in handy because a lot of them already have the book or they have the PDF version of the book or they could tell you don't even really need the book because I bought one book all of 8 years of school. So definitely find somebody older than you and then see what's up with the class. You really
network.
And to
Don't
piggyback
be
off
too
of that,
prideful to get something caught secondhand.
and to piggyback off of all of that, y'all can also buy like the older edition of books. Like I'll buy them for like $1.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't get through the entire
It's only 2 sentences in the book.
like that's all you have.
Why did you do edition?
And you wing the rest, to be honest, because you really get through it. So that older edition for $1 on Chegg, like she said, take it.
Spark notes.
Spark notes. This is what you gotta do.
Group study or independent study?
It depends on what you're studying.
It depends on who's in your group,
Yeah.
what you're studying. Because as a mass media major, I would say that all of us were really close. And for the majority of the time, we literally had, all 4 years, we had every single class together. So I think group study, as far as the people that you kind of hang with. Now, when it comes to group study for like a group project, no, I'd rather do it on my own. But everybody who were, like, we were all in the same major, we were all friends, that kind of group study was, it was productive for us, because I think as a mass media major, it's more interactive. So I would prefer group study, but if it's going to be a group where it's a group project with people I don't know, solo me, please. Thank you.
Yeah, like my classes, like, again, like for like biology or philosophy or things like that, I don't want to be bothered. Like, I don't want anybody around me. I need to focus. But again, for a mass media arts major, it was mostly a collaborative all the time. Like, that's what we did initially all the time. So I just feel like it was fun in that aspect. But if you catch me on like math test, y'all gotta go. Like, I don't have time for that because I can't focus. But I definitely think for like arts majors like ourselves, it was different. Like, it was definitely more collaborative for us.
Car or no car. And I'll be honest, I lived in New Orleans for 4 years of my life, and I did not have a car. I was kind of fortunate enough to be around people and always befriend people who just happened to have cars. And eventually they became comfortable with letting me drive. But for the longest, I was known as Ankles Express to all of my friends, my cohorts, because I was always walking, I was always taking the bus. And once again, it goes back to the theme of independency. I didn't have, my mom or my dad to drive me around, or even Uber at that point. Uber was not alive and well when I was in college. So I had to learn those bus routes, and there was nothing wrong with it because I always took the metro back home. So it was literally just home to me, just in a new place. But not having a car definitely gives you that independent right of how you're going to be, again, resourceful. College teaches you that resourcefulness. Is there anyone that had a car that would like to tell about
I had my car. The only thing I'll say about that is, if you're going to bring a car, just be mindful. People are going to want to befriend you just because you have a car. Don't let people use you. If you're not comfortable with somebody and they're like, oh, can I borrow your car? Don't let them borrow your car. I've seen people, cars get tore up because they want to be the popular person, like, oh, let this person use my car. And then they don't have no car at the end of the day to show for it because they let everybody ride in it and mess it up. But definitely, if you got a car, it's definitely a blessing to be able to take your car to school, but just watch out for people that's trying to use you for your car. Get that gas money.
And what year was your university founded? Xavier University of Louisiana was founded in 1925 by St. Catherine Drexel.
George Mason University was established in 1949. Delaware State University was established in 1891, and the United States Navy was established October 13th, 1775.
Well, the University of Delaware was founded in 1743.
Tuskegee University was founded July 4th, 1881.
So Clark Atlanta University, first it was Atlanta University that was founded in 1865, excuse me, not 19. And Clark College was founded in 1869. And Courtney, Clark Atlanta University?
1988.
Hey! What is your university mascot?
We are the Clark Atlanta University Panthers, and we find a way or make one.
We are the Tuskegee University Golden Tigers.
We are the Blue Hens.
We were the Delaware State Hornets and the George Mason Patriots. And for the United States Navy, we speak for ourselves. Who y'all?
And for Xavier, we were the Gold Rush Nuggets, and AKA a gold digger. He dug gold.
Okay.
What is your school's zip code?
30314.
36088.
19716.
It's been a while.
We can go with the Navy where I was stationed at. 93042.
70125. What are your university colors?
Red, black, and gray.
Crimson and old gold.
Blue and yellow.
Delaware State is Columbia blue and cherry red. George Mason is gold and green. And the United States Navy is navy blue and gold.
Okay, navy blue.
And Zula is gold and white. And before we leave you guys, of course we're going to give you a token of advice. But I have to ask my fellow cohorts, would you do undergrad again? And if so, would you change anything about your undergrad experience? Courtney?
Yes, I would absolutely, positively, 100% do it again. It was a great experience. I would honestly say that was the best 4 years of my life. The relationships that I've made, the bonds that were built, the things that I've learned. Like Shamia said earlier, you learn about yourself, and I could say that I learned a lot about myself. I've changed, not the same person that I was when I entered into it. So I would definitely do it again, and I would pretty much keep all of the same experiences. Only thing, like I said, I would take advantage of more internships, but other than that, like, everything was superb.
Yeah, and to follow up on that, like, I would definitely repeat undergrad again. Just as far as the experience, it's one of the best experiences of my life, one of the best 4 years of my life. I don't know what other 4 years of my life would be great, but I will always remember undergrad. I think the only thing I would change is being more involved my freshman year. Like, I felt like I was so stuck on studying and other things that were not as important as they seemed then, that I would change that. But overall, the experience, the getting to know myself, to getting to know lifelong friends that I still had to this day, to learning so much, to exploring the city that I was living in, which has become like my second home, honestly. Like, there was nothing like your undergraduate experience. Grad school doesn't even compare to it. I would honestly say that. It's completely different, and you should just absorb every experience you have at undergrad. And yeah, I just loved it.
I would definitely do it again. If somebody asked me would I go back tomorrow, I would say yes. Where are my bags? I would definitely go back 100%. As far as changing anything, like Shanice said, I'll probably be more involved in organizations, but I definitely did a lot while I was there. I probably would have just done a little bit more. And then as far as friends, I made a lot of good friends there. I probably would have made even more, or befriended people outside of what I thought were my solid friend group. I would have befriended more people that kind of didn't fit that mold, just to have a more complete circle of people. But overall, I wouldn't change, not a lot. So definitely would go back. 10 out of 10 recommend.
I definitely, as everyone said, I would definitely go back. It was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in my life. I made lifelong friendships. I have lifelong sisters, like my track teammates. I was on the track team for a short period of time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. One thing I would say is that the only thing I would probably change is, again, like others said, would be to take advantage of opportunities, to apply for those scholarships, and to take maybe more challenging classes. I was challenged in a lot of ways, but there were some classes that I was a little bit fearful to take because I didn't want to jeopardize my GPA that probably would have challenged me and elevated me. And I would say this is the opportunity where you can make mistakes, but also don't make such a major one. Make sure that you're focused and that you're going to put in the work if you commit yourself to something. So.
I can't say that there's anything in my undergrad that I would change, because that means that would change the position that I'm in now. I think that everything that I experienced in my undergrad is exactly where I was supposed to be to gain that type of experience and that lasting impression that I left on whoever I touched and whoever I met in that point in time, and however that person touched me and didn't take their hands off of me. I don't want to change anything. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and everything that I experienced, whether it was favorable or less than favorable, it was exactly what it was supposed to be.
So, of course, I will do my undergrad experience again. I always tell teens, especially when they come into the library to talk to me, I think it's important that you should go away for college. I mean, I know a lot of us want to be close to home, but like we talked about earlier, that independency, that drive to thrive, is going to put you in a place where you have to think for yourself and you have to discover your individuality when you do move further away from home. Of course, I would change a little bit of things. Number one, I would have not taken out that parent plus loan. I'm going back to those interest rates and those loan fees, and I'm just not having it. That's one. Number two, I know it's going to sound a little crazy, but I think I would change my major. When I was in my sophomore year of college, I remember reaching out to one of the teachers who really played a valuable role in my life and maybe the writer I am today, honestly. And I told her, I said, I don't know if I really want to do biology anymore. I'm really interested in mass communications, being a DJ, or maybe even education. And because I just decided to stick with biology, yeah, I showed you that I can do it and I can get out, but what has it really done to benefit me? Yes, having the bachelor's did give me a job at the library, but unfortunately, I'm not in the scientific field. So I think that, like Raven said earlier, you have to make sure that you're making decisions that benefit you. If you're going to take out this large lump sum of money, make sure that it's going to give rise to what you're going to do in the future. It's going to give rise to a legacy that you can leave for your children. I think it's very important to invest in yourself. And so with that, I just say, you got this, and congratulations, you've already done it. Just put in the work ethic and you'll get more out of it. Now, is there any words of advice you would like to leave to our teens?
I would say, like you said, don't let going away to college discourage you as far as like distance. I know sometimes people can say, oh, I don't want to leave my friends, or, it's something new. But honestly, all of us went to the same high school together, and we're clearly here almost 10 years later. So I would say, like, don't let that discourage you. And I know, like, as a teen, like, your friends mean a lot. So I would definitely say, if they're strong and they're solid, they're still going to be there when you get back.
I guess my advice is just, as cliche as this sounds, your experiences are your own all the time, whether it's college or any path after high school that you may choose to go on. I would just say they're always going to be your own. Make them your own. Stand in your decisions. Do not let anybody dictate your path. Your path is so important. So don't feel like, oh, you're obligated to go to college because someone told you to. This is, for me, it was something that was a personal decision that I was very passionate about. Go with your passions all the time. That's something I really believe in, because you can't succeed the way you want to succeed. It's all up to your drive. So I would definitely just say, just enjoy your path and love your path and just go with your experiences.
I would say do what's best for you. Don't let any outside sources determine that. Be okay with making mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. You're going to fall. The biggest thing is just getting back up, brushing yourself off, and going back at it. Don't be one of those people that fall into, oh, I got to graduate in 4 years. If you graduate in 6 years, if you graduate in 8 years, you still got a degree. So definitely follow your own path, because you get distracted when you look at somebody else's. So definitely be true to yourself. Look into yourself and know what you want to do. Even it's okay to not know what you want to do, but just take that time and definitely just look for yourself, and don't let anybody else's life or what they got going on dictate what you want to do.
My advice would be to relax. It will be okay. Go to the party. Go to the party and enjoy yourself.
Yes.
If you had a rough day and you want to have some fun with some friends, do that, because at the end of the day, the stress is not worth missing out on a great opportunity where you can have a little fun. The stress is going to be there when you get back to your dorm. So if you can, try to take a little bit at a time and have some fun. Get involved in not only academic organizations, but get involved in social organizations. Mm-hmm. It will make a huge difference, and networking can get you just as far as academia. So. Yeah.
Absolutely. I will piggyback off of Sid. Just have fun with it. Like, life is so unpredictable, and the only thing that I feel will set you apart is to have the heart of a child, the mind of an architect, and the foundation that your parents gave you. And if you don't have that, then to have the foundation of your passion, because that's going to lead you to your heart's truest desire.
Ooh, that's
and if that can make you money, then you have absolutely made it in life. Don't ever let anybody take you off of that path or deter you from that thought process that you are creating your own journey and that your destiny is just that, yours.
Definitely, right? And I guess, I'll let the teens know my words of advice. Honestly, I always tell people, believe in yourself. I think sometimes we're too hard on ourselves, and I definitely fall victim a lot of the times. I think that you having that faith in yourself, regardless if someone have it in you or not, is going to give you that tenacity, that determination, that willpower. Once again, it goes back to me telling you about your work ethic. If you feel like you cannot do something, as long as you have that fixed mindset, you will never get it done. But when you change it to a growth, I can, I will, I'm determined, you are going to blossom, and it's going to be such a beautiful flower that you'll bloom. And so when you think on all the things that you've overcome, whether it's in high school, it could have been in middle school, and you say, wow, I did make it this far. That's exactly what college is going to be like. You're going to look back once you get your degree, and you're going to say, wow, I really did beat those odds. And if you want to go get your master's, or you want to become a consultant and run your own business, just believe in you. When you believe in yourself, you sell the rest. The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Don't forget it.
Believe in you. I just like that. Believe in you. Okay, believe in you.
And sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know.
It's been a great run. I've had fun. Cohorts, have you had fun?
Yes.
It's been a well and productive, organized evening. I hope the teens that have watched this, even the parents, the guardians, everyone that have tuned in, I hope that you have taken something away from this. We've invested time into this project, and we just want to make sure we truly leave you with a token of our appreciation to thank you for watching us. Again, good night.
Welcome back to my show. It's another episode. It's another episode. Let's get it. You undecided about going to college. Read all your play, watch for your options. There's no doubt you are a scholar. Believe in yourself, it'll take you way farther. Cut out the blur, lead a distraction. Get your degree, count on your bag, and sit the kick back. Covered in sauce, ooh, dripping in fashion. Get you a check, run at the bands. Financial ways, stay on demand. Choose a career, then take a stand. Haters a clap, I won't give you a hand. They not on your track, you running them last. Stacking them racks, getting straight to the bag. No time to flex, so you could take another route. Maybe a trade with militia life. Refine the skills, sharpen the knife. For every $1 you make it count twice. Then you run it up, throw them hundreds up. Filling up accounts, cause you know you made it.